First Shmuel, chapter 17. ויאספו פלישתים את מחניהם למלחמה, and Pelishtim were gathered to their camp to the battle. ויאספו שוקו אתר ליהודה, and they were gathered at Shokor, which is toward Yehudah. ויחנו בין שוקו ובין עזקה באפס דמים, and they encamped between Shokor and between Azekah in Ephes Damim. ושאול ואיש Yisrael נאספו, and Shaul and the man of Yisrael gathered themselves. ויחנו בעמק האלה, and they encamped in the valley of the oak, the valley of the Elah. ויערקו מלחמה לקראת פלישתים, and they arrayed the battle to meet Pelishtim. ופלישתים עומדים אל ההר מזה, וישראל עומדים אל ההר מזה, והגיא ביניהם. And Pelishtim were one standing toward the mountain from this side, and Yisrael were one standing toward the mountain from this side, and the valley between them. ויש איש הביניים ממחנות פלישתים, and the man of the place between the two came out from the camps of Pelishtim. Goliath shemo migat, Goliath his name, from Get. Gobeho Sheth Hamot Wazarat, his height 6 cubits and a span. Yet the Greek text says his height was 4 cubits and a span. وكوبع نحشت على رأسه, and a helmet of bronze upon his head. وشريون قشقشيم hu labush, and he was one clothed in an armor of scales. ومثقل هالشريون خمشة هلافيم ثقاليم نحوشت, and the weight of the armor 5,000 thaqalim of bronze. ومثحت نحوشت على رجلايو, and greaves of bronze upon his feet or legs. وكيدون نحوشت بين كتفايو, and a javelin of bronze between his shoulders. وعش حنيتو كمنور هورجيم, and the wood of his spear was like the beam of weavers. ולهبت حنيتو شيث مئوت ثقاليم برزل, and the flame of his spear, that is the tip of it, was 600 thaqalim of iron. وَنُوشِهْ هَثِنَّا هُولِكْ لَفَانَيْوْ, and one bearing the shield was going before him. وَيَعْمُدْ, and he stood. وَيِقْرَهْ El Ma'arkot Yisrael, and he cried out to the arrayed ranks of Yisrael. Vayomer lahem, and he said to them, Lama hateshahu la'arok milhama. For what are ye come out to array a battle? Halo hanochi hapelishti. Is it not that I am the Pelishti? Wahatem avadim l'Shaul, and ye are servants for Shaul. Berula kemeish, weyered Eli. Eat up for you a man, and let him come down to me. But it is understood from the Greek text that this verb meant to select. Select for you a man and let him come down to me. If he be able to battle with me, wihikani, and he smite me, wahayinu lachem la'avadim, also we shall be for you for servants. Wihimahanihu kalalo wihikitiu, and if I prevail against him, and I smite him, wihiyitem lanu la'avadim, wa'avadatem hotanu, also ye shall be for us for servants, and ye shall serve us. Vayomer hapelishti, and the Pelishti said, Ani herapti et ma'arakot Yisrael hayom hadeh. I have reproached the ranks of Yisrael this day. Tenulish, give ye to me a man, wenillahma yahad, and we shall fight together. Vayishma Shaul ukol Yisrael, and Shaul and all Yisrael heard et divrei hapelishti ha'el, the words of the Pelishti, these words. Vayehatu vayerahu mod, and they were dismayed, and they feared exceedingly. David ben Ish Ephrati hadeh mi Bethlehem Yehuda, ushmo Yishai v'lo thmo navanim. And David, the son of the man of Ephrath, or the Ephrati man, this Ephrati man from Bethlehem Yehuda, and his name Yishai, and for him were 8 sons. Wahaish b'yemei Shaul, Zaken b'nashim, and the man in the days of Shaul was old, coming in the days of his life among the men. Vayelchu thelothat bnei Yishai hagdolim, and the 3 big sons of Yishai went. Halechu acharei Shaul lamilhama, they had gone after Shaul to the battle. V'shem thelothat banayu atrahalechu bamilhama, and the name of the 3 of his sons which went in the battle, Eliab habakor, v'mithnehu Avinadab, v'hathalithi Shammah. Eliab the firstborn, and his second Abinadab, and the third Shammah. With David who Hakatan, and David he was the little one. Uthalotha Haggadolim Halaku Achare Shaul, and the three big ones went after Shaul. ודוד הולך ועשיו מעל שאול לרעות את צאן אביהו בית לחם, and David was one going and returning from over Shaul to shepherd the flock of his father at Bethlehem. ויגש הפלישתי השכם והערב, and the Pelishti drew near to shoulder up early and to pass the evening. ויתייצב 40 יום, and he stood himself 40 days. ויאמר ישי לדוד בנו, and Yishai said to David his son, Kahana la'acheka efat hakali hazeh, take now for thy brothers an ephah of this parched grain. Wa'ashara lehem hazeh, and this 10 bread. Waharesh hamahana la'acheka, and to run to the camp to thy brothers. With asharat harith halab, and 10 slices of the cheese. Ha'ele, these ones. Tavi l'shar ha'alef, thou shalt bring to the prince of the 1,000. With acheka tifqod l'shalom, and thy brothers thou shalt muster for peace. With arubatam tiqah, and their assurance or pledge thou shalt take. وشاول وهما وكل إيش يشرائيل بعمق هائلا, and Shaul and they and every man of Yisrael was in the valley of the oak, the valley of the Elah, nilhamim im Pelishtim, battling with Pelishtim. Vayashkem David babokar, and David shouldered up early in the morning. Vayitosh et hason al shomer, and he left the flock upon one watching. Vayesha vayelch kater stiwahu Yishai, and he lifted and he went like what Yishai commanded him. Vayavo hamagala, and he came to the wagon, or to the entrenchment or track. Vahayil hayoshe el hamaraka vahereu bamilhama, and the army was going out to the rank, and they roared a rumbling roar in the battle. وَتَعَرُّكْ يِشْرَائِيل وَفِلِسْطِيم مَعَرَكَ لِقْرَاتْ مَعَرَكَ, and Yisrael arrayed, and the Pelishtim an array to meet an array. ויטוש דוד את הכלים מעליו, and David forsook the things from upon him. על יד שומר הכלים, upon the hand of one watching the things. וירוש המערכה, and he ran to the array. ויבוא וישאל לאחיו לשלום, and he came and he asked for his brothers for peace. והוא מדבר עמם, and he was one wording with them. והנה איש הביניים עולה גוליית הפלישתי שמו מגת ממערכות פלישתים. And behold, the man of the space between the two, one going up, Goliath the Pelishti his name, from Get, from the arrays of the Pelishtim. וידבר כדברים האלה, and he worded like these words. וישמע David, and David heard. וכל איש ישראל בראותם את האיש, וינוסו מפניו, ויראו מאוד. And every man of Israel, in their seeing the man, also they fled from before his faces, and they feared exceedingly. ויאמר איש ישראל, הראיתם האיש העולה הזה. And the man of Israel said, Is it that ye have seen this man coming up? כי להרף את ישראל עולה, that to reproach Israel he is coming up. והיה האיש אשר יכנו יאשרנו המלך עושר גדול, ואת ביתו ייתן לו, ואת בית אביו יעשה חופשי בישראל. And it shall be, the man which should smite him, the king shall enrich him with great riches, great wealth, and his daughter he shall give to him, and the house of his father he shall effectuate free in Israel. ויאמר דוד אל האנשים העומדים עמו לאמור. And David said to the men standing with him, saying, מה יעשה לאיש אשר יכה את הפלישתי הלז, והסיר חרפה מעל ישראל? What shall be done for the man which should smite this Pelishti, and should turn away the reproach from over Israel? כי מי הפלישתי הערל הזה? For who is this uncircumcised Pelishti? כי חרף מערכות Elohim Hayim, that he should reproach the ranks of the living God. ויאמר לו העם, and the people said to him, כדבר הזה לאמור, like this word, saying, כה יעשה לאיש אשר יכנו, thus it shall be done for the man which should smite him. וישמע אליאב אחיו הגדול בדברו אל האנשים, and Eliab, his big brother, heard in his wording to the men. ויחרף אליאב בדוד, and the anger of Eliab was provoked against David. Vayomer lamad yaradta, and he said, for what is this thou hast come down? Wa'alamina tashta me'at hathon ha-henna bamidbar, and upon whom hast thou forsook the few of the sheep, those few of the sheep in the wilderness? Ani yada'ati et dhonaka wa et ru' levavaka. I have known thy arrogance and the evil of thy heart. Ki lemachana rohot hamilahama yaradata, that for the sake of to see the battle thou art come down. Vayomer David, and David said, Me'ashiti ata, what have I done now? Halo davaru, is it not a word? Vayisob methalo elamul acher, and he turned away from beside him to in front of another. Vayomer kadavar hadher, and he said like this word. Vayethivuhu ha'am davar kadavar harishon, and the people, they returned him a word like the first word. Vayesham'u hadvarim atar dibber David, and the words which David worded were heard. Vayagidu lifnei Shaul vayiqahehu, and they narrated before Shaul, and he took him. Vayomer David el Shaul, and David said to Shaul, Al yipol lib Adam alau, let not the heart of an Adam fall on account of him. Abdaka yelech winilham im hapelishti hadher, thy servant shall go, and he shall fight with this Pelishti. Vayomer Shaul el David, and Shaul said to David, Lo tu kalala lechet el hapelishti hadher, thou art not able to go to this Pelishti, lehilahem immo, to battle with him. Ki narhata, because thou art a lad. Wahu ish milhama min rurau, and he is a man of battle from his youth times. Vayomer David el Shaul, and David said to Shaul, Ro'eha ya avdaka lahaviu bathon, thy servant was one shepherding for his father among the flock. وظهري وتهدب وناشش مهاعذر. And a lion came, and the bear, and it lifted a sheep from the flock. ويشهتي أخريو, and I went out after him. وهكيتيو, and I smote him. وهثالتي mipiu, and I delivered from his mouth. ويقوم علي, and if he rose up against me, وهحزقتي بذقانه, also I grasped in his beard. وهكيتيو وهميتيو, and I smote him, and I killed him. Gama etahari, gama hadob, hika abdaka. Also the lion, also the bear, thy servant hath smitten. Wahaya hapelishti he'arel hadhe ka'ahad mehem. And this uncircumcised Pelishti shall be as one from them. Ki herep ma'arkot Elohim hayim, for he hath reproached the ranks of the living God. Wayomer David, and David said, Yahweh atar hisilani miyad hari umiyad hadob, hu yasileni miyad hapelishti hadeh. Yahweh, who hath delivered me from the hand of the lion and from the hand of the bear, he shall deliver me from the hand of this Pelishti. Wayomer Shaul el David lech, and Shaul said to David, Go thou, Yahweh Yihye imach, and let Yahweh be with thee. Wayalebesh Shaul et David madau, and Shaul clothed David in his garments. وَنَاتَنَ قُوبَعَ نُحُشَتْ عَلَى رَوْشُهُ, and he gave a helmet of bronze upon his head. وَيَلْبَشَهُ شِرْيُونَ, and he clothed him in armor, body armor. وَيَحْجُرْ دَاوِيد et harbo me'al l'madayu, وَيُهِلْ لَلَكَتْ ki lo nisa, and David girded his sword from upon to his clothes or garments. And he began, or was willing to go, but he had not tested. Wayomer David el Shaul, and David said to Shaul, Lo ukalalek the Baal, I am not being able to go in these. Ki lo nisiti, for I have not tested. Vayisirem David me'alayu, and David turned them from upon him. Vayikahmakalo biyado, and he took his staff in his hand. Vayibharlo חמישה חלוקי אבנים מן הנחל ויאשם אותם בכלי הרועים עטר לו וילקוט וקלעו בידו. And he chose for him 5 smooth things of stones from the river, and he set them in the vessel of the shepherds, which was his, and in the pouch, and his sling in his hand. Vayigash el hapelishti, and he drew near to the Pelishti. Vayelech hapelishti holech waqareb el David, and the Pelishti came, coming and drawing near to David. Wahaish nosheh hasinna lefanau, and the man bearing the shield before his faces. Vayabet hapelishti, and the Pelishti looked. Vayareh et David, and he saw David. Vayivzehu, and he despised him. Ki haya nahar wahadamoni im yefe mareh, for he was a lad and ruddy, with the beauty of appearance. Vayomer hapelishti el David, and the Pelishti said to David, Hakaleb hanoki ki hatta ba'elai b'makalot. Is it that I am a dog, that thou art one coming to me by means of staves? Vayiqallel hapelishti el David belohai, and the Pelishti berated him or belittled David by means of his gods. Vayomer hapelishti el David, and the Pelishti said to David, Leka elai vehetana et basharka le'of hashamayim ulbehemat hashada. Come thou to me, and I would give thy flesh to the birds of the skies, and to the beast of the field. Vayomer David el hapelishti, and David said to the Pelishti, Hatta elai beherb uvahanit uvakidon. Thou art one coming to me by means of a sword, and by means of a spear, and by means of a javelin. Wanoki ba'eleka b'shem Yahweh Shabaot Elohem Ma'arakot Yisrael Atar Herafata. But I am one coming to thee by the name of Yahweh of hosts, God of the ranks of Yisrael, which thou hast reproached. Hayom hadeh yisagerka Yahweh b'yadi v'hikitika. This day Yahweh shall shut thee up into my hand, and I shall smite thee. Wahasiroti et roshaka me'alaka, and I shall turn aside thy head from upon thee. ونعطتي بغر محنة فلسطين هيوم هذا لعوف الشاميم ولحياة هارش, and I shall give the corpse of the camp of Pelishtim this day to the birds of the skies and to the beast of the earth. וידעו כל הארץ כי יש Elohim לישראל, and all the earth shall know, they shall know, that there is a God for Yisrael. וידעו כל הקהל הזה כי לא בחרב ובחנית יהושיע יהוה, and all this assembly shall know that Yahweh is saving, not by sword and by spear. Ki LeYahweh hamilchama v'natan etechem biyadenu, because the battle is for Yahweh, and he shall give you into our hand. Wahaya ki qam ha-Pelishtim, and it was as the Pelishti arose, Vayelech Vayiqrab liqarat David, and he went and he drew near to meet David. Vayemaher David, also David hastened. Vayarush hamaracha liqarat ha-Pelishti, and he ran to the rank to meet the Pelishti. Vayishlach David et yado el hakali, and David sent his hand to the bag. Vayiqah mitham heaven vayiqallah, and he took from there a stone, and he slung. Vayach et ha-Pelishti el mitzaho, and he smote the Pelishti to his forehead. Vatitba ha-heaven b'mitzaho, and the stone sank into his forehead. Vayipol al panayu arsha, and he fell upon his faces to the ground. Vayehzak David min ha-Pelishti baqela v'vaheven, and David was strong more than the Pelishti by means of a sling and by means of the stone. Vayach et ha-Pelishti vayemitehu, and he smote the Pelishti and he killed him. V'herb en biyad David, and a sword was not in the hand of David. Vayarash David vayamod el ha-Pelishti vayiqah el harbo vayishlefah mit'arah vayamotetehu. And David ran, and he stood towards the Pelishti, and he took his sword, and he drew it out from its sheath, and he put him to death. Vayikarot et rosho, and he cut off by means of it his head. Vayaru ha-Pelishti ki met gibboram vayanusu, and the Pelishtim saw that their mighty man was dead, and they fled. ويقوم أنشي إسرائيل ويهوذا ويريغوا. And the men of Israel and Yehudah arose, and they roared a rumbling roar. ويردفوا את הפלישתים, and they pursued the Pelishtim. عد بوكاغاية وعد شعر Ekron, as far as thy coming to Gaia, and as far as the gates of Ekron. ויפלו חללי פלישתים בדרך thagaraim ועד גת ועד Ekron. And the slain ones of the Pelishtim fell in the way of thagaraim, and as far as Get, and as far as Ekron. ויעטובו בני ישראל מדלוק אחרי פלישתים. And the sons of Israel returned from hotly pursuing after the Pelishtim. וישוסו את מחניהם, and they plundered their camp. ויקח דוד את ראש הפלישתי, and David took the head of the Pelishti. ויביאהו Yerushalem, and he brought it to Yerushalem. ותקלהו שם באוהלו, and his things he set in his tent. וכראות שאול את דוד יושב לקראת הפלישתי. אמר אל אבנר שר השבה בן מידי הנער Abner. And as Shaul's seeing David, one going out to meet the Pelishti, he said to Abner, prince of the host, the son of whom is this, the lad? Abner. Vayomer Abner, and Abner said, Hey nafshaka hamelech imyada'ati, as thy soul liveth, O king, if I would know. Vayomer hamelech, and the king said, Shehalahata ben mideh ha'galim. And the king said, Ask thou, the son of whom is this? The ghulam, the boy. Ukethuv David mehakot et hapelishti. And as David was returning from smiting the Pelishti, vayikach oto Abner, also Abner took him, vayabiyehu lipnei Shaul, and he brought him before Shaul, urosh hapelishti biyado, and the head of the Pelishti in his hand. Vayomer Eli Shaul, and Shaul said to him, Ben mi hata hanar, the son of whom art thou, O lad? Vayomer David, and David said, Ben abdaka Yishai bet halachmi, thy servant, the son of thy servant Yishai, the Bet halachmi.